Hey, I just wanted to do a concert review on the Miley Cyrus Bangers tour. I went to go see her on August 12th in Kansas City at the Sprint Center, and that was a show that recently got canceled back in March or April. We went down there, got there at 4, and she canceled at 5. And we live about 5 hours away from the Sprint Center, so it was kind of, I don't know, it was terrible for us to like drive all the way down there and get canceled, but it was really not her fault. She couldn't control it, so it was understandable. But we were extremely happy that she got to reschedule it, so we just went back to see her early in August. And it was our second time seeing her this year. We saw her back in March in Omaha, Nebraska. And it was so good and so much fun that we had to go back again because there's so much going on that you wanted to see, or I wanted to see everything that the show has to offer because there's like tons of things going on the screen. She has tons of backup dancers. It's such an entertaining show that you have to see it more than once. Um, the Sprint Center itself is a really cool venue. The outside is all kind of round, and it's tons of glass windows, so it's really cool to see. And then the inside is even better. It's just a fantastic arena and great for any shows to go to. The audience was, your typical white girls in crop tops and skimpy dresses and high-waisted denim shorts, which is fine. I was totally used to seeing that from the other show, but it's just crazy how that typical audience comes and sees her. And then there's like the few other straight audience that comes too, but that's the majority of the people that go to it. Yeah, like I said, it was the second time seeing her. This time, in the Kansas City show, I was a little closer. I was in the sixth row, from the first level up, and in the Omaha one, I was like in row 11. But they were both really good seats, and super close. And it's crazy how close you can be to them. There was no opening act, which was kind of weird because Icona Pop opened up for her in Omaha, but there was no opening act, and Lily Allen actually opened for her on some of rescheduled dates, but didn't do the last few shows. So it was just a DJ, which I thought was kind of cool. It was better than some opening acts. It got the crowd really going, and it was really good music too. It got the crowd really pumped up. But once the DJ was done, all the lights came back on in the venue, and it was like real silent music, which kind of ruined the mood. And then that lasted for like half an hour. So of course by the time Miley was supposed to come out, we were all just kind of sitting there waiting, really not excited anymore. And finally, 8:30, Miley finally came out. The audience was going crazy as usual as her giant face appeared on the screen and that like quirky music is going on in the background. Um, and then all of a sudden her tongue slide comes out. She does this huge wave to the audience. It's such, I don't know, an exciting entrance. It's super cool. Like no other performer would come up with anything like that, slide out on their own tongue. Like that's not something normal people would think of. But then SMS starts playing, and that's probably one of my favorite songs during the whole show because it's just really a fun song and super entertaining to see her watch her interact with the other dancers. Cause her one midget Brittany, I believe's her name, comes out with the Britney Spears mask, and Amazon Ashley's just like twerking it out. It's pretty awesome. um, and she also during the whole show she performed all of her songs off her new album except Hands in the Air, which is a good song. I kind of wish she would have performed that one, but and then she also performed an old like Can't Be Tamed too off her other album and Party in the USA too. But I'm just going to go with some highlights of the show because you guys probably all know what songs she does perform. So in Love Money Party, the car came up from the bottom of the stage and then it wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't roll out. It would not get going. So the car would not come down. So she got off of it and just walked down. And it was nice to see her improv though. Like it kind of sucked that the car wasn't working, but it was interesting to see how she improved. And she was like doing some of the backup dancers dance, was like interacting with them more, and then the part when she's normally grinding on the car, she was doing it on the stage. She was still doing everything she was doing the splits, she was going crazy. She wasn't going to let the car ruin that song because it's one of my favorite songs to watch regardless of the car not working. It was still a great performance. And then I had a foam finger that actually kind of sort of lit up. It had like glow sticks in it. And I'm pretty sure she saw me at multiple times because I was waving in the air and she'd give me that point and like nod her head like, I see you up there. So that was cool. It's cool to make that connection with the artist. And something I also love about Miley's performance is she moves around a lot. She doesn't stand at a mic like the whole time during the show. She's moving from side to the middle. And then during her acoustic set, she's actually on the other side of the stadium, which is something I think is really cool because they get to see her down there and it's a nice toned down performance. And she also didn't quite make the change for FU. She's done that a few times like overseas, but she came out without the skirt on, but then one of her crew members came up quickly and put the skirt around her and fixed it. And then also during Adore You when she came out and talked to us, it's also, I love hearing her talk to us. It's really cool what she has to say. She's also a hilarious person. Like, she is super funny. Someone threw a bra on stage and she like lifted it up and was like asking whose bra this was, and she put it on and said that was the first bra she put on in 4 years. And someone also threw a French fry costume on stage. She put that on and wore that. There's hats, a unicorn necklace thing, and jackets. Like, she also keeps everything that she gets, and I think that's really cool. Like, tons of bracelets. She's made multiple things out of them. So she, like, cares about us and what we have to give her and like, how much we care. It's truly cool that, like, she keeps all that stuff. And then she pointed out there was actually a few lookalikes that like kind of looked like her, but this one was spot on. She had like the lips costume. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but she did it overseas. It had lips on the front and on the back for like SMS and 4x4. And so the girl that made that costume came up with the same exact thing, looked identical to her. Like anyone would have been mistaken. And so she pointed her out during the acoustic set and was like, she just found it crazy that the girl looked so much like her. And she said that that costume that she made, she made it for relatively cheap, and then the designers that made it for her cost her like millions. So it's crazy how like talented some of our fans are. And then during 4x4, she mentioned like the rednecks of Nebraska to get your lassos up. So that, like I said, she's just super funny and chill and like has a lot of fun with her performances. And during Wrecking Ball, she actually changed some of the lyrics, which was pretty funny too, where it goes, "I will always want you." She like totally changed it to like pizza, candy, and just listed on these things, which is really cool. And it's just really funny, like I said. And then one of the saddest things of the show was there was no 23, which I don't really understand why it got cut, but I saw it back in Omaha and it was super fun. And a lot of girls like dress up in the 23 apparel and wear that stuff. So I don't understand why it was cut, but because she did put in Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds though, so she added that song. Maybe that was the reason why they had to get cut. Maybe there's some other issues with the song. I don't really know, but she performed it actually in Chicago on the rescheduled date. So I don't really know what the deal is there, but and like I said, that's all I really have to say about the Bangers tour. It's truly a great performance. Miley is one heck of an entertainer. She definitely puts on a show, cares about her fans so much. I would totally go back to the show in a heartbeat. There's so much to see. It has so much to offer. And that's my concert review for it.